Ohio a century and a half ago was a new frontier in the making, a vast land of promise. From the other side of the mountains, New England, Pennsylvania, and Virginia, covered wagons rolled westward over Zane's Trace, the only trail yet to be carved out of the Ohio wilderness. In the early autumn of 1803, John Davidson and his wife Mary were on their way to the new settlement established by John on the banks of the Muskingum River, an early outpost in America. But what if time had taken a sudden and strain to the future on that bright autumn day at the start of the 19th century? Suppose John Davidson and his wife had been mysteriously and unexplainably catapulted 150 years ahead of their time and were brought smack up against the middle of the 20th century. And suppose Bill Smith, a businessman of modern Zanesville, in taking a shortcut from his home in the country to his office in the city, found himself faced with something out of the storybook past. Men from different periods of history do not meet in real life. But if they did, there'd be a lot of explaining to do. It wouldn't be easy to convince a pioneer that the tiny McIntyre settlement on the banks of the Muskingum is now a thriving city of more than 40,000 people. And even though John Davidson and Bill Smith speak the same language, there's a world of difference between them. The difference between the horsepower age and the age of the horseless carriage. But seeing is believing, particularly for a woman. And Mary Davidson, practical wife of pioneer stock, is willing to take a look at this strange new world. Milestones still mark the way to modern Zanesville as in pioneer days. But it's difficult to believe that this four-lane concrete highway was once the Zane's Trace of the frontiersman, and that covered wagons traveled this way a century and a half ago. From a frontier outpost, the McIntyre settlement has become one of the most important cities in Ohio. The old ferry across the Muskingum is gone, and steel and concrete bridges span the river today. One of them, the Y Bridge, is a landmark for which Zanesville has become famous all over the world. Traffic of every kind passes over this bridge, which is now part of one of the nation's most important east-west highways. Six bridges span the river in the city, four of them carrying motor traffic, and the other two, railroad trains. To the eyes of these pioneers, bustling downtown Zanesville represents an exciting picture. Tall, modern buildings of stone have replaced the one-room log cabins of an earlier day. The old courthouse stands on the site of the second capital of Ohio. And a tablet from the old Capitol building constructed in 1809 may still be seen over the entrance. The frontier outpost has become a network of busy streets where thousands from all over southeastern Ohio come to shop. But for the people who live here, Zanesville is a city of attractive homes, built in pleasant surroundings along tree-lined streets. And Zanesville's historic past lives today in many beautiful old houses, some of which stand as classic examples of early 19th century architecture. This is the birthplace of Zane Grey, one of Zanesville's most illustrious natives of a generation ago. Zanesville has reason to be proud of its present generation, too, and of the school system it has provided for its children. Among the modern schools of Zanesville is Woodrow Wilson, beyond which is the neighboring Grover Cleveland Junior High School. Two generations of Zanesville youths received their high school education at Lash High School. Zanesville is also a city of beautiful churches, with practically every denomination represented. And this is the Art Institute in the city, which is the home of several outstanding artists, such as Howard Chandler Christie. Civic functions and concerts are held in the Municipal Auditorium and in the John McIntyre Public Library, named for the city's founding father. It stands as one of several living tributes to his foresight in providing land for public buildings and parks. Recreation facilities play an important part in the life of modern Zanesville. Here's one of the spots where the kids can have fun, real honest-to-goodness fun, under the supervision of well-qualified leaders. And what could be more refreshing on a hot day than a dip in the swimming pool, one of two owned and operated by the city. Zanesville's modern improvements mark it as an up-to-date city, it is still building for the future. A new high school under construction reflects the determination of the city to grow up with its children. And a new television station provides a form of communication and entertainment which John McIntyre never even dreamed of when he built his cabin beside the Muskingum over 150 years ago. Ebenezer Zane knew the importance of transportation when he cut his famous trace through the wilderness. Today, broad highways link Zanesville with its neighbors by land and by air. John and Mary, our misplaced pioneers, the ultimate symbol of the modern age into which they have been suddenly thrust is the airplane. Imagine a winged monster 10 times as big as a covered wagon that can actually soar into the air like a bird. New pioneers who are conquering time and space in the air are being added to the names of pioneers of old who conquered the sea and explored and settled the land. And behind the people and progress of Zanesville are its industries, producing the things that are needed by modern man. This factory is the largest producer of floor and wall tile in the world. Its handsomely designed mosaics may be seen all over the United States and in many foreign countries. Transformers, manufactured in this big plant, are shipped to every continent. Expert craftsmanship and careful inspection are combined in the production of this heavy equipment. Zanesville's industry is exemplified by such products as the big universal concrete pipe, made to assure great strength and high quality. Unusual plant, an example of the diversity of local industry, turns out items that range all the way from picnic grills and marble steps for modern homes to burial vaults delivered by truck throughout a wide area. The winding of electric transformers requires a special skill and a steady hand. These delicate instruments, made in Zanesville, may become a part of your radio or television set, and many of them will show up in faraway places as vital parts of Uncle Sam's most modern tools of defense. Not far from Zanesville is this huge factory which produces some of the finest Portland cement in the world. The limestone from which it is made is quarried nearby. Industry centered in and near Zanesville provides jobs for thousands of men and women in the making of hundreds of products, such as roller bearings at the Zanesville Timken plant. Nimble fingers assemble and sharp eyes inspect parts which keep the wheels of progress rolling. among the Zanesville manufacturers of food products is this packing house, which supplies a well-known variety of tasty meats to grocers' counters and food markets, fresh and ready for your table. In this factory, cardboard boxes are being folded into shape by a machine that's almost human in the performance of a difficult job. Production line methods like these mean cheaper, better cardboard containers for products of all kinds. Zanesville was once known as the Clay City because the principal products of its factories were ceramic in one form or another. Today, Zanesville industry produces everything from glassware to steel. In the blazing furnaces of the Burnham plant and other local industries, a greater Zanesville is being forged. And now, as their tour of Zanesville nears an end, our visitors from long ago ascend the winding road by a pioneer, Rufus Putnam. Below is Zanesville, the city which came into being because Ebenezer Zane had the vision to recognize this site where the Licking River flows into the Muskingum as the most promising in all the Ohio wilderness. In Zanesville, pioneers of both yesterday and today can look forward to becoming a part of a thriving, prosperous city with busy factories, splendid stores, fine homes, and abundant resources. Zanesville, a city with a proud past and a great future. Zanesville, the Y Bridge City.